What's up, YouTube? Alright, I have a couple of videos to do. I'm doing this video now, but I'm probably not going to post it till a couple of days later because I want people to comment and, have their conversations on some of my other videos. Like I said before, I have a hard time spacing out my videos, and I tend to put them out in one chunk. And when I do that, I know people kind of get spread out. I want people to see a video, focus on it, go away from it, and come back to it and see what other people have to say. But I gotta do it now. Okay. Imsatindoll, you left a comment on a couple of comments on my page in terms of single black mothers and inheritance, and I thank you. And I completely agree where you're coming from. It's an all or nothing mentality. You take the complete package. I don't feel like people should half-ass anywhere. So why, would we half-ass, especially in a situation like this? It's either you take the whole thing or you don't. But here's my thing. Now, let's assume that a guy says, hey, I'm willing to take the total package, but he already has, some money saved up, he has some wealth, he has some things going on. Now, I personally feel, and this is where we're going to disagree, I believe that he's entitled, and he's the sole person responsible or, entitled to determine who gets what. Okay, it was there before you guys got there, so to me, I feel like that is his. Regardless of the fact of, him bringing you guys in and making him part of his family and you guys doing that whole thing, I feel like it's still reserved for him. Now, if he took on the complete package, and then after that came into something, right, a couple of years afterwards, then it's debatable, okay, because they were there before, right? They were there when things weren't guaranteed, so it is debatable. And I think we can agree there, but we're probably going to disagree on the whole idea of, they having some sort of say-so if they come after the wealth and the money is already there, or at least a big chunk of it, okay? But in terms of your concept of the complete package, I feel like it goes both ways. And I've said this before, and other men feel the exact same way. Sometimes, I'm not saying you, but, the single mothers want the full-time commitment from the men, but at the same time, they want to have this part-time type of commitment. And to me, it's more so, if I'm going to come through, bring you guys in and say, hey, I want to, do the whole family thing, there is no concept of, me being the stepfather who has to get the mother's approval. Okay, I will be the father, so I should be able to discipline the way I best, the way I feel I need to, and I should be able to do what I need to do. Of course we can work together, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, I get to do whatever, but what I'm saying is, you can't have this override button. I have a couple of older friends and acquaintances who are in situations with women with children, and when it comes time for him to handle his business, there's no wavering. But when he wants to make some corrections and instill some discipline, okay, then it turns into, and we're not even talking about hitting, we're not talking about spanking here, we're talking about just the whole act of punishment the whole act of punishment and discipline. All of a sudden he has to get approval, or she's overriding him, or it's like all of a sudden he turns into somebody who's not the father. And that's a big problem, right? The women want to come on and they want the benefits of being, a wifed up woman, but then they still want to have, this badge of honor to say that, they're the single, independent mother who is raising their child without a man. That's bullshit. Because he's there contributing, financially, emotionally, spiritually, he's there. Okay? And like I said before, there is no idea of being the part-time father, right? You have to accept the complete package as well. A man's not going to come through and just be a husband to you or a boyfriend to you, okay, but nothing to the child or the big homie. No, forget that. I've seen it so many times where she wants to be wifed up, but at the end of the day, she doesn't want, him to have a significant impact on that child's life. And it's not going to work that way. But then, she wants to tell him, oh, okay, you can step up here. You can't discipline. Oh, but you can, spend money. Oh, you can spend resources. You can't discipline. You have to get my approval, right? But when it comes to money, when it comes to giving, oh, that's all good. It's all love. It can't be that way. And you also have to factor this in. Now, there are certain women who are single with children, okay, but the father is still there to take care of the children, okay? So, maybe they spend a week with him, they alternate, and that child still has an identifiable father, okay? So there's a big difference. So, if I'm in a relationship with that situation going on, I understand what's going on, okay? I don't need to come through and be that child's father like that, okay? I understand my role. Things do change up because you don't want to step on what that man's doing, because you have to respect another man. That is his child. And you have to respect the fact that he is taking care of his children like he's supposed to. So there is no room. And so, I wouldn't go too crazy with the whole idea of trying to be that child, or, children trying to be their parent. I would come through and reinforce here and there, but I would be fully aware that they do have an identifiable father, and I'm not going to mess with, another man's relationship. Okay? But this goes back to what I said before in terms of inheritance. Okay? If they're not my children, they shouldn't be entitled to what's going on, or I have the choice. They can't be forced upon me, especially if they have a father, because that's his responsibility. See, the women have to factor in responsibility. Men have a responsibility to their children. Okay, so if the father is still there, okay, he is responsible. It is what it is. Anything I do is based off of my choosing, my choice. You can't mandate that I do something if the father's there. That's his responsibility. That's his burden. But unfortunately, in the black community, you have a lot of women who do have children with no sort of identifiable father. Right? He's either in jail, just gone. Or just doesn't care. Now, that is a completely different situation. In those situations, yes, the dude should come through, and like I said before, you have to give him the complete package. He is the head of household, he is the husband, and he is the father to the children, clear cut. There is no, I'm going to hold on to this whole identity of being a single mother and raise them part-time, then the other part-time, I'm the wifey. No, there's none of that. It's the complete package. And me, like I told you before in the beginning of the video, go hard or don't go at all. And I'm the type to even say, hey, if you're going to take on my last name, I think your children need to legally change their last name to mine. Because if I'm stepping up and I'm saying I'm going to make that commitment, right, it's almost disrespectful to be raising someone else's children, right, under the virtues of my name, but yet they call themselves something different. Okay, so if my last name is Williams and I'm, leading this family like I feel like the Williams family needs to be ran, okay, it's disrespectful, right, if they, have all the teachings behind my name, but yet they have a different name. So let's say their last name is, Matthews, right? I'm like, no. You have the teachings of a Williams, but yet you call yourselves a Matthews. No, that's not going to fly. There's no point in honoring a man. And you have to remember, men are big on their name. That is very important to us. More than race, more than anything, our name is very important. So, for me, it's disrespectful. Why would you honor another man who chooses not to be there? So you have to factor in, like I said before, to wrap things up, I completely agree with you. I'm not going at you, but I'm addressing you. I'm more so addressing those who are concerned, right? Other single mothers and other people who are listening. It's go hard or don't go at all. Okay, and it goes on both sides. So the women have to be willing to understand what that man wants, because he's going to need your help. Right? There is no part-time status. There is none of that. As a quick little end story, I have a older acquaintance who took the challenge, okay, did everything he needed to do, but the woman still wanted to hold on to this whole idea of her being a single independent mother. And this is after, right, he, pretty much legally got married to her so that her and her child could benefit from his health care package. That's as far as he went, because he was committed to going hard. He was committed to helping her with the homework. He was committed to, going to the back to school nights. He was fully committed. But when it came down for the mother to show commitment to him, she wanted to do it as a wife, but not in terms of a mother. So he can't come in and instill the proper, discipline and knowledge that he wants to, because he always has to get approval. And she didn't like the whole idea of him showing her up and, him being the head. In her eyes, she wanted her child to view her as the head honcho and not him. And right now, it is causing a rift in their relationship. So I don't know if it's leading towards a divorce, but, we'll see. And, hopefully maybe I'll keep you guys posted. Maybe they can turn it around. But that's what's going on in their relationship as we speak. So, I know I put a lot in this video. Hopefully, we can get some good discussions. Take it easy. God bless.